Okay, so welcome to another episode of Josh of All Trades. And for today's episode, we will have very special guests. One na kilala ko since undergrad and one na kilala ko kanina lang. So, we are here now sa UP Diliman. And, ayun, ang magiging topic natin for today's video ay ano nga ba yung mga nag-push sa atin na mag-MS or mag-graduate school. So, we have here Alay.
Hi! So, I'm Eliza. Batchmate kami nung undergrad ni Arv. So, ngayon, nagma-masters ako dito sa UP Diliman, MS Environmental Science.
Hello, I'm Mayo. Yeah, nagkakilala din kami kanina lang. So yeah, taking MS Environmental Science then here at UP Diliman, first year. So,
Yeah, so both of them are master students. Actually, ako kakatapos ko lang din ng
Ready.
masters. Let us start this podcast with our first segment, which is Trading Takes with Josh. Okay, so sa segment na ito, we will be discussing a lot of things na related din sa masters natin, how we came up with the idea, ba tayo mag-MS, etc. So let us start with the question. Ayan. Why did you pursue graduate studies?
Actually ako, I pursue graduate study. Na-realize ko na kailangan ko siya after kong 1 year sa industry working kasi I feel like yung learnings ko ay hindi pa enough. Gusto ko lumabas out of my comfort zone. So,
Yeah.
doon ko na-realize, gusto ko pa matuto. After nun, nag-resign ako and then, ayun, nag-masters ako not only for my passion, pero for progress na din for writing and then research.
Yeah. How about you, Ana Mayo?
ako naman, merong two main reasons kung bakit ako nasa masters ngayon. Una, hindi ako nakapag-med school. Parang yun yung...
Oh, med school.
Yeah, parang yun yung main reason kung bakit nasa masters ako ngayon. Since ayoko ma-vacant, so nag-enroll ako. And second is, may passion din naman talaga ako sa research. And gusto ko mag-academe.
Yeah.
So yung way para makapasok sa academe talaga na nakikita ko is through grad school.
Grad
Kaya
school,
ako
yeah.
nag-masters. So,
Yeah, that's nice naman. Kasi ano siya from UP Baguio si Mayo and ano siya, BS Bio. Ayun. So ayun talaga kapag BS Bio, parang most of the people that I know na BS Bio, ang goal talaga is to enter med school, and I feel like you're entering, the other path as of now. Do you have plans to pursue med school in the future pa? Or mag-focus ka na sa NVSI and build your name from there?
Actually, kapag nakakapanood ako ng medical dramas, ganyan, parang gusto ko pa siya ituloy.
I-pursue talaga.
Pero iniisip ko, parang mas gusto ko talaga mag-focus sa academe. So,
Yeah.
parang ngayon, nag-fade na yung med school dream. Pero, we'll see.
Okay.
Time will tell.
How about you, Alay? Like, kasi, di ba, you mentioned that you came from the industry, no? So, what? Job interview? Where do you see job? Like, entering masteral ngayon. So, do you see yourself, teaching in the future or being involved in, research projects, etc.?
Yeah, actually, parang tingin ko after ko mag-masters, baka mag-pursue ako. Not really sure though. Baka mag-pursue ako into teaching kasi curious talaga
Yeah.
ako on how
I feel like
can
kayang-kaya mo talaga
to be
teaching.
a lecturer in the future, ganyan. So,
Yeah.
pero as of now, I think focus ako with research. Gusto ko
Yeah.
magkaroon ng more on publication. So,
Yeah.
let's see sa future ko ano yung kung
True.
magiging prof ba ako or hindi.
Since you are both from different UP campuses, from UPLB and from UP Baguio, what do you think is the biggest adjustment na nangyari sa inyo mula like sa undergrad era, then papunta ngayon sa grad studies era? Any
Ikaw,
one of you?
ako kasi parang, ano ba?
Gusto ko sabihin ikaw, pero ginawa ako.
Parang pag inisip ko, since undergrad, tapos nag-jump into working, parang wala akong masyadong adjustment. Since galing na ako sa UPLB din nung undergrad, feeling ko nakapag-adapt naman na ako dun sa transition. So wala akong maisip ngayon as of now. Ikaw ba?
Okay.
Honestly, ako din, parang coming from UP Baguio to UP Diliman, parang wala ding masyado or Parang wala nga actually. Aside sa in-depth talaga yung pinag-aralan, doon ako
Mm-mm.
medyo nag-adjust.
Like in terms of the course content
Yeah.
mismo.
Pero if like from undergraduate to graduate, parang walang masyado since
Yeah.
within UP
UP
system
campus
nga
din,
So,
oo, yeah. Actually, isa rin yun sa mga na-observe ko, like, less adjustments talaga kapag galing ka na sa same hellhole. Huh? Which is UP.
Experience mo na, uncle?
Yeah, oo. Parang, okay, immune na tayo, ganon. Pero
Pero
legit.
alam mo, tingin ko mas fun, mas masaya ako ngayon with grad school kasi nung undergrad, more on memorization kasi, di ba?
Totoo, yeah.
Parang ang dami mong time or kailangan mong time na i-google para mag-review ngayon. Ganun.
Yeah.
Pero in grad school kasi, as long as alam mo yung mga concept or parang natututo ka with your course, ganyan, tapos na-apply mo siya sa real world or dun sa mismong passion mo, parang madali na lang naman siya
Yeah.
na makapag-adjust talaga. So,
True. Actually, almost same experience nung nag-start din ako ng masters. Mas gusto ko actually yung masters compared sa undergrad. Katulad na hin-highlight nga ni Alay na, kasi undergrad like as in talagang super memorization siya na kailangan alam mo talaga yung mga terms and etc. Eh ako, hindi kasi ako, totoo. Kaya noong naging teacher ako ng Agri 31, 32, hindi ako nagpaka-memorize ng scientific name ng lahat ng imagine ilan yung samples nyo, 50 plus, tapos kailangan mo i-memorize yun. Tapos kailangan kilala mo yung dahon parang nila mismo, 'di ba? So parang sabi yung gano'n, ayoko talaga nung ganong form of learning. Like yung kailangan mo i-memorize lahat ng buong equation dun sa chemical
nagamit mo
formula.
ba siya ngayon?
No. Kaya ayoko talaga siya. Kaya nung nakaranas na ako ng master's course din, doon ako mas yung through experience talaga yung mga stuff na sinasagot mo, etc. Based on what you are experiencing now, and yung siguro yung thought process nyo before starting your masters, when do you think is the best time to start graduate studies? Ayun. So, I feel like iba-iba kasi tayo na experience din.
Yeah.
Go.
Feel ko walang best time to start kasi like magkaiba nga yung time namin kung kailan kami pumasok ng grad school. Ako, right after ng graduation, nag-masters ako agad. And I think kung dinelay ko yon, siguro parang baka mawawalan ako ng gana mag-aral. So, yun yung mga factors sa kinonsider ko.
Yeah.
So, para sa akin, yun yung best time na pumasok. Yung parang
Kapag ready
may
ka,
drive
ganun.
pa.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Tapos parang may, alam mo yung mga parang fresh pa yung information na parang kaya mo pa i-apply in real life sa masters.
True.
ganyan. So,
Yeah. I agree with that, no? Kasi may mga classmates din ako dati nung grad school na PhD na sila. And may mga anak na sila, mayroon na silang alam mo yun, marami na yun nasa plate nila compared sa atin ngayon na parang since bata pa tayo, lesser pa lang kumbaga yung considerations natin for pursuing grad school, etc. And ang parang lagi nila sinasabi sa akin na habang bata ka, tapusin mo na yan. Or habang bata ka, get all the experience that you can. Kasi kapag matanda ka na, mahirap na kasi you need to balance, like say for example, their time with their families. And alam mo yun, that some of them are from very far places like Samar, Davao, Bukidnon. And they need to sacrifice the time with their families to take grad school in Los Baños. Para ka rin nag-OFW, kumbaga. Diba? So, that's one consideration. The other one is health. I have classmates, feel ko hindi naman nila papanoorin to, na since meron na silang like different like mga vices, so mas nahihirapan na sila mag-memorize. Let's say for example, kapag nag-smoke ka, mas mahirap na mag-memorize ng things.
Sa akin, I think nakadepende talaga siya sa tao.
Yeah.
So parang sa akin naman, ang best time na nangyari na nag-grad school ako is nung nakapag-work muna ako for 1 year.
At nagka-jowa siya.
Hoy!
True or false?
True. Kasi nung nag-work ako, parang doon ko na-realize, kailangan ko pang matuto kasi konti pa yung tingin ko na knowledge na naging ko from the undergrad. Kailangan ko pa ng learnings para mas maintindihan kung ano yung nangyayari sa mundo, ganyan.
Yeah.
Grabe naman, ang lalim.
Pero real
Yeah,
naman,
diba?
kasi coming from the agricultural sector and now pursuing environmental science, parang it's really connected. And I feel like you are advocating for, things that are bigger than yourself, no?
Yan. So, yan. Yung tingin ko yung best time.
One of the challenges, or siguro mga tinatanong din ng mga iba, because I feel like there are some of my students also listening to this. So, hello guys. Ano daw? Shout out. Tingin nyo ba na may effect yung performance nyo ng undergrad? Let's say for example yung grades and also yung extracurricular activities sa qualifications nyo kumbaga papasok sa grad school. Let's start first in the context of here sa UP Diliman.
Ako tingin ko yes. Nung application, 'di ba, tinitignan yung may mga grade requirements sila. Tapos kinukuha yung TCG, ganyan. During the interview, tinatanong din nila if meron ka bang focus or kung ano na yung focus mo with the research. Pero I think hindi naman siya ganun kalaking impact. So kahit hindi ganun kataas yung jiwa mo, ewan ko ha, kahit hindi ganun kataas yung jiwa mo, feeling ko naman makakapasok ka pa rin as long as you are confident. So kasi may interview part yan eh. During the application, feeling ko big deal sa kanila yung grades, pero during the interview tinitignan din kasi nila if meron ka ba talagang passion to continue yung graduate school. So ayun, tingin ko 50-50, malaking bagay na hindi ganyan.
Ngayon ko lang nalaman na may interview pala dito ah.
Di ba meron?
Yeah, meron.
Walang interview sa LB.
So, sa akin naman, feeling ko, di ko alam kung ano actually mapipil ko. Kasi, kasi kung tinitignan ko yung grade score, parang inaalala ko yung grades ko nung undergraduate, parang hindi naman siya ganun kataas. In fact, ang dami kong ang DOS, ganyan. Tapos parang biglang nakapasok ako. And of course, sa interview nga, hindi lang grades yung nagmamatter. So, tinitignan din yung
Plans mo,
like,
ganun.
kung gusto mo ba talaga mag grad school, kung kaya mo ba, especially, kasi hindi siya ganun kadali. Hindi siya parang, basa-basa lang yan, sulat-sulat lang yan. Hindi siya ganun kadali. So, tinitignan din talaga, I think, pinakamalaking factor yung drive. Hindi lang siya sa academics.
Totoo. Tama yung sinasabi nyo na it really takes a lot of drive and also the willingness to do grad school para mag-thrive sa grad school. And one of the factors din kasi, especially when you are applying for scholarships or teaching assistantships, most of these scholarships na available sa atin, they are awarding scholarships to different people who really have the passion and the plans to do graduate school. Personally, paano kayo nakapag-decide to go into environmental science, considering that you are someone from agriculture, you're someone from biology, so why? Why Envi-Sci?
So ako, parang yung major, hindi naman major, pero like concentration ko kasi nung undergraduate is ecology and systematics, which is parang linked or like heavily linked. Hindi naman parang heavily, pero may connection sa environmental science. And parang sabi ko, ayoko na talaga ng hardcore bio. So, para may iba naman. Kaya nag-MS Environmental Science. And ngayon, parang gusto ko i-pursue din or like mag-focus sa river ecology. Sa river ecology.
River ecology.
Yeah. And malaking factor sa akin yung influence ng professor ko before sa limnology nung undergraduate din. Kaya nasa MS Environmental Science ako.
Ako naman, coming from agriculture, di ba ikaw agriculture din?
I don't know you.
Yun, coming from agriculture, na-realize ko kasi na ang agriculture is one of the big contributor ng problem natin. Nasa industry ako, nakita ko yung problema with the use of chemical or synthetic chemical. So, dun ko na-realize na as an agriculture graduate, parang responsibility din natin na i-rely sa mga farmers na dapat maging responsible kung paano nila gagamitin yung mga
inputs.
Environment, kung paano nila i-utilize yan. So, parang mas nag-focus naman ako with sustainability. So, doon ko na-realize malaking ambag ng environmental science with that. So, kaya nung nag-grad school ako, sabi ko, gusto kong kunin yung environmental science kasi gusto kong matutunan yung mga aspect kung saan tayo as human, alam din natin kung paano gagamitin or kung paano tayo magta-thrive with the environment ng equally tinitreat natin ito as important as people. So, yun talaga, sustainability. Kaya, tinake ko yung MS Envi-Sci.
Yeah. So, one of the things that you need to understand when you are going to masters ay saan ka magfo-focus. I feel like that's one thing na kailangan mong sagutin. And that itself was the question that I asked myself nung pumasok ako sa MS sa LB naman. So, parang, okay, magfo-focus na ba talaga ako sa microgreens? And ayun yung parang finocus ko. And at the same time, I explored little bits of the industry itself. Kaya ang aking minor nung time na yon, may minor ba kayo dito?
Wala. General.
Wala.
din.
Hindi, like,
Wala.
hindi kayo pipili ng minor nyo?
Wala. As in general and MSN Visay, yun na talaga siya.
Well, okay. Sad.
Sorry
Kasi, hindi, kasi, ayun yung nakakatuwa sa curriculum ng LB. Kasi we have like, ako kasi MS
Focus.
Horticulture, major in crop physiology. And ang minor ko, pwede ako mamili sa kahit anong MS. Like kahit DevCom man yan, forestry yan, etc. Pwede ka mamili. And I chose agribusiness management. And considering then yung mga insights nila kanina, one special concept in management is the 3 Ps, which is the people, the profit, and the planet. Laging nandun yung planet eh. Like no matter what industry that is, there should be considerations ng planet natin. Ayan. And I feel like doon yung aspect na nakakapag-contribute yung field nyo itself, yung sa environmental science.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that?
Another input kasi is parang medyo tayo human-centric, para ba term?
True,
Diba?
actually.
Parang lagi nating tinitignan yung benefit ng human or yung magiging benefit sa tao, pero hindi natin kino-consider kung ano ba yung magiging effect na to with the environment.
Yeah.
So parang nung nasa industry ako, mas nagkaroon ako ng wider perspective. Kaya ayun, mas na-curious pa ako with the MSN Visay. So ngayon nandito ako sa UP, nag-aaral ng MSN Visay. Doon ko na-realize yung importance talaga niya. Lalo yung binanggit mo na 3 Ps.
Yeah. One of the things then na na-realize ko, considering that, diba, I mentioned na one of the highlights ng curriculum in some universities ay yung connections ng different industries. For example, yung industry ng limnology, connected siya sa fisheries, something like that. Tapos, connected din siya sa agriculture, connected siya sa iba't ibang sciences. So, how do you build your networks, lalo na ngayong MS? Is that important first and foremost? And ayun, how do you build?
Actually, isang advantage pa nag-NVisay, hindi na literally NVisay, pero pag nag-graduate school ka is yung, alam mo yung galing kayo from different industry.
Yeah.
So, during the discussion sa mga course, ganyan, meron kayong different perspective, meron kayong different input dun sa mismong course. So, parang
Yeah.
nagkakaroon kayo ng different learnings.
True.
Ganito pala perspective ng bio, ganito pala perspective ng agri, ng engineering. So, mas natututo ka ng hindi lang sa'yo kasi 'di ba ang learning naman is continuous.
Yeah.
At hindi lang siya one way. So, mas natututo ka kapag merong mga input from other industry.
Yeah.
So, parang in that way, nakakapag-build ka na rin ng connections.
Totoo.
So, very important talaga siya, 'di ba?
Ako naman, important yung connection kasi kung pag-uusapan natin yung environment, hindi madali mag-solve ng problems.
Yeah.
So,
Individual.
ayun nga, yung diverse perspective sa grad school pa lang, syempre kailangan mo ng parang like insight to solve this specific problem, ganyan. And syempre kailangan mo din ng collaborations kasi like,
Totoo.
kung pag-aaralan mo, for example, yung isang ecosystem, hindi mo yan kakayanin siguro mag-isa.
Totoo.
Or if mag-isa ka lang, syempre, tatagal yan.
Totoo.
Kasi hindi lang naman yung isang factor yung kailangan mong i-consider.
True.
So, yun, I think, yung isa kung bakit mahalaga.
Mahalaga yung collaboration. And, sige, may idaragdag
Ayun,
ka na.
tsaka sa akin kasi, tinuturo talaga siya na ang NVisay, parang ang approach mo dapat is multi-sectoral.
Yeah.
Kasi 'di ba, madaming sectors ang involved, hindi lang naman ang mga scientists from UP ang
Totoo.
kailangan nagsosolve ng issue. Kailangan din natin ng connections or parang network with the political aspect ganyan.
True.
Kasi paano mo masosolve? Community mismo.
Yeah.
Paano mo masosolve yung isang problem ng isa lang yung gumagawa?
Yeah.
'Di ba? Kailangan natin ng political aspect in a way na dapat ma-connect natin sa kanila. Ano ba dapat yung mga laws or governance
policies.
na policies na kailangan para masuportahan natin yung environment natin.
Totoo.
And add ko lang din, syempre involved din yung public and private sectors.
Totoo.
Kasi
Di ba
sa-
4 Ps sabi sa inyo eh.
sa pag-solve ng environmental problems, syempre kailangan mo ng funds. So,
True.
saan kukunin yung funds kung
Sa
walang
private
connect-
sector.
Yeah, actually, malaki silang tulong. So,
True. Nakakatuwa now as someone who studied management kasi these are things that we are also dissecting in our courses. Let's say for example, just last semester I took Management 201 which is on organization and management. And a bulk of that is allotted to studying like planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Then we also used concepts like the PESEL, familiar with PESEL like political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, legal, and environmental. And I feel like, especially in your field, no, tama yung sinabi nyo na talagang ano siya, it is a holistic view of the world that makes us solve problems faster. It's good that you also have mentioned na when you are entering grad school, iba-iba yung background siya talaga. And that helps. Let's go to some of the technical stuff siguro na ano, and you can share your stories on how you did this. Ayun. Specifically, how did you fund your graduate studies? So, is it out of your own pocket or scholarships or assistantships and such?
Ako, actually pareho kami ni Mayo eh. So, nag-apply kasi ako for the UST. So, nag-decide ako na mag-resign with my almost 2 years na work kasi na-realize ko na gusto ko mag-focus with my study. So, ako ang funding ko talaga ay yung DOST.
Ako din, funding ko fully is DOST. Kasi, nahihiya na ako humingi sa parents ko. Kasi capable naman ako to like
Shout out
providing
po.
like financial, not only to myself, pero to like my family. Pero kasi gusto ko pa mag-aral. So, wala na akong ibang alam na pagkukunan ng funds kundi scholarship. Though pwede naman ako mag-work, pero
Yeah.
iniisip ko kasi gusto kong matapos
Focus.
agad, makapag-focus muna. So,
True. How was the process?
How
Like
was the
generally.
process? Yun, sa process ng DOST actually, madali lang naman siya dito sa UPD. Kasi parang naka-align siya doon sa process mo ng application kapag magte-take ka ng graduates. So, kung ano yung application requirements na ginamit mo for graduate school, yun na din actually yung application requirements for DOST. Kasi meron sila ditong separate parang division, ano matawag doon, office, na nag-handle
scholarships.
from UPD talaga. So, DOST, AST, HRDP, sila na yung nag-process ng papers, applications na ginamit din during the process nung sa mismong graduate school. Tapos, sila na rin yung nag-conduct ng interview. So, parang kung ano yung interview namin nung graduate study, yun na din yung interview namin.
Okay.
So, yun, sila nagpasa nun. Ang struggle ko honestly is yung stipend. Kung gaano siya katagal,
actually,
papasok. Ano lang, let's be honest lang dito. Actually kasi, transparency.
Tapos maano to, no? Ma-TV.
Hindi,
DOST
nakikita ko naman na talaga siya na, anong tawag nito? Delayed.
Yeah.
Kasi
And given yun, I think, for government
during
officers.
undergrad kasi, parang ganun naman na din yung process. So before, alam ko na siya. So before ako nag-resign, nag-alat muna ako ng savings for that para mapaghandaan.
Wow. Yeah.
So yun, ikaw. Struggle daw.
struggle, siguro yung aside nga din dun sa stipend, which is talagang, dali naman talaga. Delayed nga eh. Siguro ako, medyo nag-struggle ako sa pag-maintain ng grade.
Oh.
It's a personal problem siguro. Oo, it's a personal problem. Kasi, may imposter syndrome ako eh. Tapos nakaka-affect yun minsan sa performance ko.
In connection with that, since we're also talking about the struggles, what do you think is the biggest challenge na meron kayo? Like, in any aspect ngayong masters, like whether that's social, mentally, physically, what? I don't know. Go. Shoot.
Sa akin siguro social and mentally. Kasi
Okay.
like, isolated ako eh. Parang like, kahit gusto ko lumabas. Parang kasi, sa masters, diba, iba-iba yung age, iba-iba yung
Yeah.
background. So parang, iniisip parang hirap bumuo ng intact na circle talaga.
Yeah.
Kasi syempre mayroong different responsibilities din, ganyan. So
True.
parang sa akin, nung undergraduate ko, as in, ganun talaga, buo yung circle, sama-sama lumabas. And ngayon, parang doon ako nabigla. Yun yung naging challenge sa akin na parang, sino kaya ayayin ko lumabas?
Yeah.
Wag na lang, stay na lang ako
Gets,
sa
gets.
apartment, ganyan.
Ako, big challenge ko siguro paano ko ma-maintain ang mental health ko, ganyan. Yun talaga ang I think sa studies, kahit hindi naman sa pag-aaral, outside that, yun talaga 'di ba ang mahirap i-maintain, 'di ba?
totoo.
Lalo sa age natin, dumadaan tayo sa identity crisis, ganyan.
Yeah.
Hindi lang naman pag-aaral yung dapat i-cope mo or dapat harapin mo. Meron ka ring other aspects katulad ng sinabi ni May, social aspects.
Yeah.
Ganyan. So mental health talaga.
Yeah. Siguro siya, mental health kasi it affects everything.
Mhm.
Which is
Oo.
something na parang hindi masyado nagigets ng other generations. But I'm really fortunate to have met different people na gets nila tong mga to. Let's say, for example, some of my mentors, gets nila yung mga yan. Kasi
Mhm.
na-experience na rin nila. Because kami kasi yung like Gen Z pa rin naman tayo, di ba? Feeling ko kasi tayo yung generation na talagang mas naging vocal sa mental health. But
Mhm.
because I feel like the generation of, let's say for
Yes.
example, of our parents, of the people na mas matanda sa atin, they have developed this coping mechanism to neglect yung
Oo.
mental health nila, na kaya sila merong gana na parang sabihin na nasa isip nyo lang yan. Because growing up, they don't have that person to look up to na nagsispeak na hindi normal tong mga bagay na to. Kasi for example, anxiety, yung mga thoughts of inferiority,
Mhm.
something like that. So yung mga yon parang hindi nila na-deal, and we are the generation who started to amplify these different things na merong ganitong mga issues, di ba? Like ngayon lang naman, kaya nga nila sinasabi na ngayon lang na uso yung mental health, something like that na,
So,
okay,
very open na tayo ngayon.
oo, like bago lang yan na ngayon lang naman yan na uso, ganyan-ganyan. And I feel like, tama yung sinabi niyo na, kasi kapag mentally unstable tayo,
Mahirap mag-function
physically, mahirapan kang even bumangon lang mismo sa kama mo, which
tatamarin
affects
ka,
your
diba?
social. Diba? And also, a lot of things. Let's say, for example, spiritual. It's good that you have brought up both yung mental health aspect, and just a reminder din sa mga ibang tao na it's okay not to be okay.
True.
Na okay, even us na kapag on the outside, you can see us na, hala, ang dami naman niyang ginagawa, hala, ang dami naman niyang, hala, MS na siya, something like that. Hala, ganito siya, siguro marami na siyang ganito, something like that.
Achievements.
Oo. Even us, na ganun yung tingin on the outside, we have struggles
Mhm.
inside. There are things that we do in our own time that the people outside do not see. And siguro, it takes that realization para mas maging mabait sa other people. Na kapag na-realize mo na parang, okay, itong mga tao na nasa paligid ko, possibly meron silang ganito pinagdadaanan. So, ayun, feeling ko that's a good takeaway from this, Grabe. So, totoo nga na kapag nag-MS ka, kailangan talaga mentally prepared ka, no?
True, mentally prepared. Tsaka yun, again, mahirap talaga kasi mag-function kapag mentally unstable ka. Tatamarin kang bumangon, tatamarin kang mag-aral, kahit maglagay ka pa ng list ng gagawin mo sa isang araw. Kapag, alam mo yung malungkot ka talaga.
Yeah.
Parang ang only way to cope up with that is to relax, ganyan. Parang give yourself a pause.
Yeah.
Kailangan enjoy mo naman yung sarili mo. So yun lang.
Okay. May additional ka ba dun? Paano kayo nagre-relax, mga
Paano ka
gano'n?
nagre-relax?
Ako, tulog lang. Or like,
Same.
sa coffee shop,
Yeah.
which is
Aura
magastos
lang.
and hindi siya recommended. Hindi, pero,
Nagpapakaslayable sa coffee shop.
doon ko
Nakikita
yung
scene,
PS,
joke lang.
ganyan. Wow! Hindi kasi mostly sa mga pinupuntahan kong coffee shop dyan, madalas ako lang mag-isa.
Mm-mm.
Kaya siguro sila nag-close. Ayun. So, hindi kasi parang,
Siya dala yung customer natin.
magkukusa tayo. Ganyan. Coffee shop kasi, nakakasawa din naman na magstay ka sa loob ng room, same view,
Totoo.
ganyan. So, parang, lalo na sa masters na hindi naman everyday yung classes mo. Usually nga
True.
parang 4 to 7 lang siya, ganyan. Kaya kailangan mo din ng ibang nakikita, hindi lang lagi room. So, kailangan mo din lumabas-labas para ma-relax yung brain.
Ako din actually, kapag sobrang stress ako, as in sasabog na yung utak ko sa sobrang stress. Yun, natutulog lang ako, nanonood ng Netflix.
Yeah.
Alam mo yung inallow ko yung self ko na maging vulnerable with the emotions na meron. Pinapabayaan ko yung sarili ko na mag-relax. Kasi hindi naman tayo perfect as a person. Kailangan din natin mag-relax. Otherwise, mapapagod tayo.
And I just also want to add on that relaxation part. And I feel like I am a representative of the extroverts out there.
Yeah,
That
very extrovert.
Na ang form ko of relaxing is very different from, sleeping. Mas nakapag-relax ako kapag may kausap akong tao.
Talaga, no?
Oo. Since you're talking about struggles, etc., what do you think, and yun din, yung na-mention nyo nga yung how you cope with your mental health, etc. What do you think are the skills na kailangan nyo at nung mga gusto mag-masters bago sila pumasok sa masters?
Task management or time management. Kasi, syempre yung mga research skills, yung writing skills, nade-develop yan. Though nade-develop din naman yung time management, pero syempre mas maganda na dapat early stages. Mas na-develop mo siya kasi hindi lang naman sa undergraduate yun kailangan eh.
True.
I mean, hindi lang sa grad school, sa undergraduate din. And magandang practice na meron kang magandang time management skills sa grad school. Kasi,
Exactly.
ayun, kahit na like sobrang konti ng load, sobrang konti ng units, yung task is may mga super demanding din naman talaga. So, kailangan mo talagang hati-hatiin yung oras mo to meet the deadlines. So, yun.
Yeah. I want to add on that shortly. Aside from time management, one of the things na karaniwan nating na overlook ay energy management. Na
Tama.
aside from, managing the tasks that you have for a specific day, maganda rin na alam natin kung kailan tayo pinakamataas yung energy, tas pinakamababa yung energy para we can strategize kung saan natin ilalagay yung mga task na yon. Let us say, for example, mas mataas ang energy ko personally ng afternoon. Like mga 3 to 5 or 6. So dahil mas mataas yung energy ko ng ganong oras, doon ko inilalagay yung mga high requiring na mga tasks. Let's say, for example, writing for a specific chapter or writing for an article. Ganon. So doon ko siya inilalagay sa time na doon yung peak ng energy ko. Whereas kapag kunwari low energy ako ng morning, doon yung mga chill lang. Let's say, for example, listening to music, magtitiklop na mga damit, magne-nail cutters, something like that. Naka-schedule. Yung mga low energy, doon ko siya nilalagay sa low downtimes ko. Parang gano'n.
Ako in general sa grad school, I think mahalaga yung creativity skill. Other than that, paano ba? Skill bang yung way of understanding mo sa mga bagay-bagay? Yung dalawang yun, very important siya.
Ano yung dalawa?
Creativity at saka innovation skills. Una-una sa creativity kasi parang dapat alam mo kung paano ka magiging creative in research. Writing. Bakit?
Dapat alam mo paano maging creative sa creativity.
Ay, sorry. Ulit. Visit ko. Creativity, particularly kapag magsusulat ka ng ng research ganyan. So dagdag na rin natin yung writing skills kasi sa graduate school, 'di ba? Very important ang publication. Marami talagang paper, research papers. Kailangan magsulat ng mga proposals, research proposals. So another factor 'yon na kailangan meron ka. Other than that, yun nga nabanggit ko kanina, intuition skill, tama ba?
Yeah,
yun kailangan meron kang wider understanding sa mga bagay-bagay, particularly with the technicalities. Mahirap kasi siyang
or a good grasp
yun,
of what
ganon.
masters is.
Oo, tama. Para mas maging confident ka, halimbawa sa mga exam, sa graduate school kasi more on, ang type of exam is essay, hindi na siya identification na katulad sa undergrad. So, malaking bagay na meron kang wider perspective, understanding sa mga natututunan mo kasi magagamit mo siya in a practical term kapag nag-e-exam ka. So, other than nag-e-exam ka, magagamit mo din siya in the real world scenario or setup.
True. I also want to touch dun sa creativity na side. Kasi creativity doesn't only encompass how you write things like technically, but even because yung na-discuss ni Alay is more on sa technical writing.
Yes.
Yan. I want to touch creativity on the studying side. Yes, alam natin na sa masters, there are a lot of concepts. So let us say, for example, when I was studying horticulture, and let's say, for example, we are studying plant hormones. So every plant hormones, meron siyang specific functions. So the way that I study those different functions is by being creative na nagko-color code ako. Wow. When I study about auxin, lahat yan kulay blue. When I study about cytokinin, lahat yan kulay yellow. Para I can associate different terms together na related doon sa specific concept na yon. So creativity in a way on paano ka mag-aral. Ganun. So on my end, since I am a visual learner din, doon ako ayun yung parang nile-leverage ko, different colors. I use different colors for different topics. And I have developed this ever since I was in third year, I guess. Now whenever you look at my ano tawag doon, notes,
Mm.
alam ko na agad ano yung mga key terms. Kasi sobrang makulay ng notes ko. Lahat na naka-yellow, ayun yung mga major terms. Lahat ng mga naka-orange, ayun yung definition ng major terms. Lahat ng green, enumeration items. Lahat ng kulay blue, principles.
Aray.
Ganon. So parang I've built that memory palace na ever since undergrad. Kaya nung nag-MS ako, ganun ko na atakin lahat ng mga readings. And MS ay punong-puno ng readings.
True.
Ayun.
Ako naman, ang pagiging creative ko naman sa, ano yan? Sa
Study.
sa pag-aaral,
Strategy.
strategy ko, ang ginagawa ko, di ba, sobrang daming concept, readings, gumagawa ako ng diagram.
Yeah.
Tapos pinagko-connect ko
Yes.
siya kung ano yung naintindihan ko sa isang
That's good.
aspect, ginagawan ko siya ng word, tapos ginagawan ko siya ng diagram, variables doon,
Yeah.
para mas madali ko siyang mag-grasp, maintindihan. Kasi kapag as in basa ka lang ganyan, pwedeng yung iba pumasok sa tenga mo. Ay, sa tenga. Pwedeng
mata.
yung iba pumasok sa mata. Tapos
Pumasok sa
tenga.
utak mo.
Charis. Pwedeng yung iba kasi, akala mo na intindihan mo na siya at a
Parang-
deeper level, pero hindi pala. Tapos minsan mahirap siyang matandaan eh.
Mm.
Ikaw ba? Anong creativity mo?
Siguro ako hindi sa visual.
Mm.
Kasi
That's
mas,
nice, At least
mas-
iba-iba tayo.
mas naiintindihan ko yung readings kapag kunwari tinuturo ko siya. So, like,
okay.
I
That's
mean,
nice. Tama.
like binabasa ko siya pero like sinasabi ko din
Sa sarili mo.
mismo kung ano yung nakasulat.
Yeah.
Then try ko siyang i-summarize, ganyan. Parang mas effective siya sa akin compared sa visual.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's actually nice, which means mag-work sa'yo yung team, yung group setup. Ginagawa niyo ba yun? Kasi ako ginagawa namin yan nung masters. Dinidiscuss ko sa mga ayun pala yung feeling ko magta-thrive ka as teaching assistant or teaching fellow. Kasi ayun yung advantage sa akin nung MS kasi nagtuturo ako habang nag-aaral ako. So the things that I am learning nung MS, na ituturo ko lahat sa mga students ko. So kapag kunwari, and connected naman kasi yung tinuturo ko sa inaaral ko, parang nagtitrivia ako sa mga students ko na alam nyo ba na on a deeper level, yung mga halaman natin, meron yung mga parang phytoreceptors na pupunta ng ganito, ganyan. So parang since naituturo mo siya, mas natatandaan mo siya. So to end this segment, let us have the last question, which is, ano yung maia-advise nyo sa mga listeners natin who want to go to grad school?
Ako siguro may advice ko, pinaka ma-advise ko talaga, take your undergraduate seriously. Kasi lalo na kung aligned siya dun sa
Gusto nyo master?
grad school program na na-applyan mo, dun mo makukuha yung mga fundamentals eh. And from that, parang mas madali mo na siyang i-apply sa grad school. Hindi yung nagsisimula ka pa lang from the scratch. So kung from other programs ka naman, tapos ibang like field ulit yung grad school na gusto mong puntahan, syempre for sure may mga concepts din doon, may mga theories, may mga na pwede mo ding i-apply sa grad school. So yun talaga, take your undergraduate seriously and
Tama yon. Go, Alay.
Ako ang ma-advise ko, wag kang mag-grad school kapag bored ka lang. Pag bored ka lang, dapat pag-isipan mo siya ng maraming beses.
Yeah.
Tapos, pag naisip mo na or pag na-feel mo na confident ka na to take the graduate school, go ka na. Kasi sa graduate school, hindi siya katulad ng undergrad na, madali siyang
Takasan or what? Totoo.
nakasa. O yun. Parang ganun. Sa graduate school kasi parang more on meron ka ng responsibility. Kasi adult ka na, 'di ba? Parang sa graduate school kailangan take mo siya seriously kasi yun, ang goal naman natin is makapag-contribute with our community or society, di ba? Hindi ka na nag-aaral para makapag-contribute sa sarili mo, pero nag-aaral ka na rin para makapag-contribute sa environment or kung ano man yung tinitok mo or kung gusto mo na i-reach yung passion mo, improve yung research skills mo or whatever, ganun. Hindi naman kasi talaga laging align yung gusto natin diretso sa tatahakin natin. So, ayun, parang i-take mo siya seriously na kailangan mo pag-isipan.
Yeah.
Ayun lang.
Yeah. So, I feel like that's nice. And then nakakatuwa to have you guys and buti pumayag si Mayo to. Kasi it's really amazing to have different perspectives. And I know ito kasi when I started this channel and also the Sprout Up Philippines channel, I recognize that each one of us, every individual, has their own story to tell. No? And these stories are learning points na kahit sino sa mundo pwedeng matuto from you. Ayun. And I am really honored to have you guys
Wow.
today, tonight. Ayun. And
Pinapina.
yeah. And to move further sa ating episode, let's move to our next segment, which is the Rapid Trade Round. One word to describe grad school.
Interesting.
Difficult.
Tama. Thesis or coursework?
Thesis?
Thesis.
Wow, we have researchers here. Best way to handle stress in grad school.
Ako pause. Allow yourself to relax.
Sleep.
Lecture or laboratory?
Lecture.
Lab.
Biggest distraction in grad school.
Social media.
Unnecessary activities, I guess.
Such as?
Kakachismis.
Yeah, chismis.
Chismis. Please. Solo studying or study groups?
Ako solo.
Group.
Group. Okay, by group siya. Should you accept a research topic you're not passionate about?
For me, yes.
Yes, kung may ambag sa community yung research.
Ako naman, allow yourself na lumabas sa comfort zone mo.
Yeah.
Diba? Mas marami kang natututunan, mas better, mas maganda.
So, should you aim for perfect grades in grad school?
No!
Sabay.
Tama yan.
What
No.
really matters is may natututunan
Yeah.
ka.
One thing undergrads should do now if they're considering grad school. Go.
Mas marami kang free time compared nung undergraduate. Pero you should use your free time wisely.
Enjoy your free time ngayon. Kasi kapag nag-grad school ka na, medyo mababawasan ka ng time.
Yeah. And the last question is, how much sleep does a grad student actually get? This is a
Wow.
controversial one.
Ako, 6 hours.
Yeah, I think that's
Ako,
normal.
6 to 9 hours.
Yeah. We are down to the second to the last segment in this episode, which is Trade It Forward, where Alay and Mayo will give us any piece of art na pwede nyo suggest sa kanila na tignan nila or what about na overarching din sa tema ng ating
May why
podcast
ba
ngayon.
or wala?
Wala naman.
Balota sa akin. Watch Balota sa Netflix.
Yeah.
Wala akong maiisip na specific. Pero like, try to watch productivity movies or teleseries. Like, for example, yung Legally Blonde. Kasi di ba nakita mo yung pagiging productive niya, ma-affect ka nun. So,
Yeah.
go for it.
Actually, sige, magsasabi na rin ako, bida-bida. Yung host nag-share na rin. Kasi, getting that premise ni Mayo na kapag productive yung pinapanood mo, productive ka na rin. Ang isa sa mga every semester kong ginagawa kapag start ng semester ay i-rewatch ang How to Get Away with Murder. As in,
Hindi ko pa
like,
napanood yan.
ang ganda nun. Pero wala na siya sa Netflix.
Ay, wala natin na sa
Wala
Netflix.
nata. Oo. Anyways, okay, so let's go to the last segment of this podcast, which is Trade Tip of the Day. Ano ang tip nyo for our viewers?
Take it one step at a time. Kasi hindi mo yan kaya ng sabay-sabay, girl. Let yourself breathe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tama.
Ako huwag ka ma-pressure sa buhay. I mean, meron naman tayong different pacing sa life. Parang sa kanya, ganun din. Ayun, mas mag-focus ka sa growth mo, wag kang mag-focus sa growth ng iba. Kasi kapag
Yeah.
mas nag-focus ka, parang tinitignan mo yung growth ng iba, pwede kang, alam mo yun, parang ma-pressure na kailangan ganito na rin yung na-achieve ko. Yun,
Yeah.
hindi mo kailangan na magmadali kasi lahat naman tayo ay merong parang time sa buhay na tayo naman yung successful.
Awi, that is a very great advice from both of you, and I'm really thankful to have you today
Wow.
sa episode na to, and I hope that this will be released this month. I'm
my God.
pressuring myself. Pero yeah, if you are enjoying the vibe of Josh of All Trades, you can just like, subscribe there, and you can also comment kung ano yung mga gusto nyo pang panuurin na contents dito or any topics, and kung may suggestions kayo na stuff, sabihin nyo lang dyan. And yeah, I think that's it. This is a very good podcast regarding masters and postgraduate studies. And again, I am Josh, and this is Josh of All Trades. Bye!